Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Michelle Hill. It's 3/8/2023. I think I said this on some videos that that in order to help certain people deal with their situations, I think each culture needed to handle their own business. Meaning, white people in more specifically, especially those of German and European background, which is possibly the majority. And I think I said too back in the day, I don't know when, I've said so damn much, that white women are going to have to step up and see if they can resolve the issues with their, with the white men. A lot of mothers, I'm sure, and they may be silent about this, but they are so terrified as to what their sons have become. They've become loners, they've become extremists. They want to spend all their time in their bedrooms. Their appearance is not up to par. They're angry. They're secretive. Because it's so funny. A lot of these young white males who were, running up in buildings with high-powered weapons, and it was just amazing that the family didn't even know that all that stuff existed. When we grew up in black culture, now my mom didn't play that closing bedroom doors. Nope, she didn't play that. It happened, gradually over the course of time. But when we were little children, not little children, but when we were living in her house, she didn't like them doors closed. All right, because we should not have anybody coming up in the house. My mom did not allow that at all. There was no boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever staying over in our house. It just wasn't happening. And so my mom kept a tight lid on that. So that's why she wanted them damn doors open, the bedroom doors open. She didn't play all that. She kept their doors closed sometimes, but sometimes it was open too, so that, especially when we were toddlers, because I think when I told you, I used to have all these vivid dreams all the time, like I was flying all over the world, and everything was very intense and vivid. All right, and I don't want to go into much of that. And I can remember waking up being just terrified from a dream, one of these dreams. I was a young girl, like what, under 10 or something. And all of us used to be in the same room together. I don't know why that was an issue. But eventually, as we got older, we got the boys were in their room and the girls were in their room. So I don't know. But, like I said, I used to be terrified. Boom, 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 wake up. And everybody is so deeply asleep. I can't wake them. I'm just trying to shake one of them to get up, and I'm scared. And then I'm paralyzed, and I can't even call out to my parents, I let them know I'm scared. But eventually I calm myself down. I mean, it was an eerie silence. And I don't want to go into too much detail about it. But yeah, it was very eerie silence. And so I remember calming myself down and somehow going back to sleep. And then I'm up and I have to get up and get ready for school. So I don't think I really slept through the night a lot of times. That's what I say. I feel safer living by, well, let's be clear. I feel safer in a home where it's me and maybe someone else versus when I was living at home with my parents. I always felt this. I feel safer, I should say, in a home where I am with someone else instead of being in a home with all of them. I hope that makes sense. It's just because all I'm responsible for is myself and my partner or my wife. And, there won't be any kids. And I think they agree. Look at me talking for them. My future wife. So they made it less and not so much anxiety, because if there's an emergency, all I have to do is get her and we out. But when you got kids, you understand, and pets, pets are fine as long as they are, manageable. You really shouldn't have pets in the house, because I heard that pets are the ones that spread a lot of diseases and infections. You know how they do, lick their asses, go outside and licking other dogs' asses. So you got to keep that in mind. You really shouldn't have animals in your house, or you should not have them in your bedroom. If you want them in your house, keep them out of your bedroom and out of your bed. You got to train your dogs to do that. Keep them out of your bed and out of your bedroom. Train them to stay in their own corner of the house when it's time to go to sleep. Preferably near the front door or the back, which usually are right there. So that if they hear something, they'll be able to respond because they got the smell, they got the vision. I mean, the hearing. But anyway, yeah, each culture is going to have to sit down together in a physical sense and look each other in the eye and find out what the hell is going on. And it's going to have to be mothers with their sons, wife with their husbands. If you feel safe doing so. If you don't feel safe, then it's out of your hands. I would not touch any of those incels, those males identifying themselves as incels. You're putting your life in danger. And they'll be kind of, because they're psychopaths too, sociopaths, psychopaths, narcissistics. So so they can be very deceptive and pull you into that, and you need to stay away from that. And if you're having an issue with a boyfriend or a husband, do not go to those places alone. I'm going to say it again. If you're having an issue with your husband or your male, do not go to those places alone unless somebody's there with you. Okay, or don't even meet at the house. Okay, because I think that's what happened to a lot of these women, where they just up and disappear. They decide to go over to the husband. The ex-husband is calling and say, hey, you need to come and pick up this, you need to pick up that, and then you'll think, well, yeah, let me go run over there real quick, and that's the end of you. Nobody sees you again. So do not, if somebody is insisting that you come over right away to pick up something from my ex-husband's house, where there's a history of violence, whether it's emotional or physical. Violence is violence. Do not go over to those houses by yourself, or just don't go. If it's something material and something in your instinct is like, no, don't go. Then say, hey, you can have it. It's just materialistic stuff. Because I'm telling you, go over there and nobody sees you again. And those cameras on these homes can be manipulated. You need to do some research. Okay, I've said it. I said a brand already before. They could be manipulated because of the fact that they're wireless, and anybody can break into them. So, again, any woman, I don't care who you are, since we're talking about women and the love of women, we love women. I love women. Okay, if you're having an issue, more specifically with an ex-husband or ex-boyfriend, and he's insisting that you come over to his house and pick up something, otherwise he's going to throw it out, just say, okay, well, throw it out. You got to counter. You got to be creative so that you can stay alive and be there for your children, and be here in this world, because we need women. Women are the key to this. So, and don't forget your meditation and your contemplation. And, keep on that. That's extremely, extremely important. And again, attempt to enjoy the moments. I know I don't know what the weather is. All I know is what the weather is in my local area. I don't know what the weather is anywhere else. And anyway, I wouldn't trust what's being told to me anyway, because all this fake news going around, there's a lot of it. And as we get closer to the election, you're going to get all kind of stuff, flooded into you and flooded into the feeds about this and that and the other, because they're just trying to tear us apart more and more, trying to make us more divisive, and always in turmoil and always under some kind of feeling of some kind of threat. That's what they do, and it's called fear tactics. They're fear tactics, and and manipulation and brainwashing, and you just gotta snap out of it. But you have to be creative when doing it. Don't make everything so obvious to people, because these sociopaths, psychopaths, narcissists can pick up a lot of stuff. So you got to be creative. If you feel like you're in danger with a sociopath, psychopath, narcissistic, you can get out of there. I trust women know how to get out of there by being very creative, and we know how to do it. I'm not going to say what to do, because the psychopath, sociopath, narcissists are listening, always paying attention to what everybody else is doing, so they don't have to pay attention. They're grotesque, unattractive, boring, and I can go on and on about that. And the reason, and they blame women for why they're like that. Isn't that kind of a contradiction? Why the hell is that a woman's fault that a man is a coward? Does that make any sense to anybody? Doesn't make any sense to me. any more than that it didn't make sense that everybody's blaming black people, dark people, for what's going on in the world. Oh my gosh, so slowly, we can't be too slow, but we're gonna have to start walking the talking ASAP, and stop all this other status quo. Challenge your beliefs. If you don't challenge your belief, you're just virtually, you're gonna I don't know, be more invisible. How about that? Okay, challenge your beliefs, your faith. Okay, and if you say God and you mean creational energy, because everybody's telling me God is energy, so I'm cool with that. You can say whatever you want, as long as you know it's creational energy, and then we're good, because it's all energy. It's all energy. And why in the world would your God, if you say that it is, how would they be able to create anything? Only person that can, let's just say, the only thing that can create, or only, God, what's another word? The only element that can create life is the creation, which is God, if you want it. As long as you know it's energy, that's all that matters to me. We don't need to be being so caught up on terms and stuff anyway. It's irrelevant. All right? Let's start elevating ourselves without having to be told all the time of what to do and how to do it and when to do it and why you're doing it. All right? Let's be equal. Make your own decisions. If you have a question of people, sure, ask. If you have someone that you value in their their opinions and theories, and where you know that's the light bulb. It's theories and opinions, and that, okay, I'm going to have to work this out a little bit more so it becomes true to me. Does that make any sense? Somebody can always give you opinions and theory, but you ought to be elevated enough to know, okay, that means I need to consider it, contemplate it, and make sure it's true to me. You can care less about everybody else, and you don't have to tell everybody what you're doing either. Okay, and let's see what else. I think that's about it. Of course, Let me see if I can move my eyes and do all that. I love them eyes, babies. Ladies and gentlemen, I love eyes, but there's nothing sexual about it with everybody. And let me make something clear as well. I think I said I looked at my diary one day and I noticed I met so many different type of women all over, but it was not always sexual with none of them. I can count the amount on, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably I'll count later, but it's not many, because it just wasn't. That's not how I roll. And once I have eyes for someone, I have eyes for them only, and it very rarely does that change. All right, so just want to share that bit of information, and I hope everybody's like I said, being who you are, but being reasonable about it, being logical about it, and being rational. All right, peace and love. I'll be back.